Today is our synergy with Sanjiv ji, Sanjiv Shah, Sanjiv Bhai, Sanjiv. जो आपको So, as usual, I'll start with the informal introduction and then formally, of course, Kapila introduce करेंगे सभी को. लेकिन हमारा संगत, I think 30 साल हो गए संजीव शायद, I guess. When did we
Yeah,
meet?
almost.
Nine-
Yeah, exactly 30 years. You're right. 92, around
92?
92. Yeah,
Yeah. So
perfect.
30 years we have been together under the Chhatra Chhav of Guruji, Shri Guruji and Rishi Samkruti Vidya Kendra. तो मैं formally तो कपिला जी करेंगे, but for me, मेरे लिए first time, they say we हमारे जो subconscious memory में, reptilian brain में, all those memories, there is something called unique, that means first time memories. तो फर्स्ट टाइम मेरे जीवन में फर्स्ट टाइम बहुत संजीव जी से जुड़े हुए हैं. तो फर्स्ट टाइम, the first time this happened, first time this happened. Of course, we will share more about it as we go along. वो spontaneously जो आएगा. लेकिन जो मुझे याद आता है कि हम बैठे थे बस में, and this is my first thing which I come, and he is sitting just in, I mean, we were sitting in this ST bus going to Dahiri Ashram, और वो आगे बैठे थे, मैं पीछे बैठा था, यानी कि साइड साइड. And then I first remember my first thought of Sanjeev is when he sang this song Rosa, you know. So and मैंने first time सुना, but I loved the song that time, and after that I played that song so many times in my retreats that way. So can we have two lines of that, Sanjeev?
Sure, sure, sure. ख्वाबों में तू, सांसों में तू, रोजा.
Right. ये मेरा पहला मुलाकात था संगीत के. अरे गाना भी गाते हैं, अच्छा. तो ये, and then the second memory goes that again we were going somewhere, again in Delhi Ashram, somewhere we stopped in the middle of the forest, and then you whistled. I want your whistle back. Can you whistle now?
वो क्या था
Something,
वो?
maybe one of these Rosa songs only, but you started whistling it, and it was so beautiful, so beautiful. This was my memory of. Then मैंने उनको बोला कि अरे सिंह मेरे पास तो घर में स्टूडियो है, स्टूडियो है. So then I went to his house first time, and the first time मैंने ये गुजराती दाल चावल and सेविया का सब्जी, सेविया with tomato. Okay, I yet remember where I'm sitting, in which place. Matlab that first time memory, and after that I will say, no, Sanjeev's house dal rice, Gujarati dal rice, like nothing to beat it. Till today I stand by that
I know.
personally.
Yeah, yeah,
जब भी
yeah.
मैं हर्षा को मिलता हूँ, हर्षा वही बना. I remember, can you beat it? Yeah, we went to 1997, first trip of mine, 90 days to
USA.
US. एंड यूएसए में मैंने संजीव जी और हर्षा को बुलाया था. बट फर्स्ट आई कॉल ओनली हर्षा. संजीव ज्वाइंड अ वीक लेटर और 2 weeks लेटर, ऐसा कुछ था. एंड बट फर्स्ट हर्षा के, तो हम लोग खाना वाना, मतलब फर्स्ट डे वाज थिंग. लास्ट डे हम पूछते हैं कि आप शेयरिंग करो SSY के बाद में, आप शेयरिंग करो 14 दिन में क्या अनुभव हुआ. तो मेनी पीपल, एटलीस्ट 30% ऑफ द पीपल से, हम तो आए थे सिर्फ खाना खाने के लिए. खाना क्या, दाल राइस, वही दाल राइस, एंड आई वाज द this thing. So these are so fond memories. We've had such beautiful memories, and I mean, so many things of us is common. His laughter, my laughter, very different type, but the intensity of from where it comes is very similar.
Now wait. If you had your video off, I will do the laugh. You tell whether it's me or Manjo.
Okay. Okay.
Oh gosh, yeah.
So we will share more incidents as we go along, but we connect very well. We are two bodies, but one soul, and in many ways we are similar. I think in all ways also. Okay, the actions may differ, but inside we are all the same and absolutely same that way. So the actions that we will discuss as we go along, I've got some surprise questions for Sanjeev, which basically we just enjoy ourselves. That's all. So we
I know.
understand each other very well, and more about it I'll tell Kapila, and then we'll have a wonderful synergy. Hindi में करेंगे, English में करेंगे, जो spontaneously आता है उसमें ही करेंगे.
तो मैं संजीव जी को इंट्रोड्यूस करती हूँ। संजीव जी एक बहुत ही प्रतिभाशाली एकता के शिक्षक हैं, जिनका उद्देश्य जीवन को पूरी तरह से व्यक्त करना, एक्सप्रेस करना और दूसरों को उनकी उच्चतम क्षमता तक पहुंचाने के लिए प्रेरित करना और उनका नेतृत्व करना है। संजीव जी कंप्यूटर वैज्ञानिक, पर्यावरणविद और जैव इंजीनियर हैं, जो न्यूयॉर्क में कोलंबिया विश्वविद्यालय से इंजीनियरिंग में मास्टर डिग्री प्राप्त करके आए हैं। एक बड़ी मल्टीनेशनल आईटी कंपनी में वरिष्ठ प्रबंधन टीम के हिस्से के रूप में उन्होंने लाइफ साइंसेज डिवीजन को सफलता की ओर अग्रसर किया, जो सिद्धांतों को सिखाता है। 2012 में उन्होंने खुद को सार्वजनिक सेवा और आंतरिक विकास के लिए समर्पित करने के लिए इस वित्तीय आकर्षक स्थिति से बाहर निकले। संजीव जी कुशल संगीतकार, गायक, लेखक, कवि और अभिनेता हैं, जिनकी कई प्रकाशित रचनाएं मंच और मीडिया प्रदर्शन में हैं। संजीव जी ने भारत रत्न पंडित भीमसेन जोशी जी के दोनों शिष्यों पंडित नागराज राव हवलदार और पंडित माधव गुड़ी से किराना घराना परंपरा में कई वर्षों तक हिंदुस्तानी शास्त्रीय गायन का प्रशिक्षण प्राप्त किया है। गुरुजी ऋषि प्रभाकर जी द्वारा आयोजित सिद्ध समाधि ध्यान तकनीक के एक सर्जक और आचार्य के रूप में संजीव जी ने भारत और अमेरिका में हजारों व्यक्तियों के प्रशिक्षण कार्यक्रमों के माध्यम से आनंद पूर्वक और सफलतापूर्वक जीवन जीने के लिए प्रेरणा दी है। जैन धर्म से ट्रांसेंडेंटल मेडिटेशन के माध्यम से स्थापना प्रशिक्षण फोरम, विपासना ध्यान एवं जैन मठवासी के रूप में जीवन के लिए परमानंद में रहने के लिए एक आजीवन खोज उन्होंने ध्यान और भक्ति के रूप में एक नई रोमांचक यात्रा शुरू की है। संजीव जी अपनी आध्यात्मिकता यात्रा जारी करते हुए 2012 में उन्होंने कोलोन कैंसर के साथ एक मुठभेड़ देखी। खुद को स्वस्थ करने के अनुभव ने सभी जीवन में खुशी लाने के लिए अपनी करुणा और उत्सुकता को भी और गहरा कर दिया। इसके बाद संजीव जी खुद कहते हैं, मेरी तलाश अब ये है कि संगीत, विज्ञान, कॉरपोरेट प्रबंधन, आध्यात्मिकता और जीवन में मेरी सीखें कैसे सभी को खुशी से जीने के लिए प्रेरित कर सकती हैं और एक ऐसी दुनिया का हिस्सा बन सकती हैं जो मानवता का सर्वश्रेष्ठ पोषण करती है। So that's all about संजीव जी, and I think last quote जो है वो sum up करता है कि what is your vision about this world, and I think वही हमें next 1-1.5 घंटे में आपके साथ जुड़ के पता चलेगा। तो over to you संजीव जी, thank you so much. Welcome.
Yeah, so Sanjiv, you can just share your journey of pre-SSY, pre-marriage, post-marriage, post-SSY, and right now also, so wonderful. उनके जर्नी में बहुत कुछ, उनके जर्नी में बहुत ऊपर नीचे हुआ है, and he has gone through everything with a smiling face, and साधना मतलब खूब साधना किया है, करते रहेंगे। उनका लाइफ ही एक साधना है। So he will share his journey, and of course at some point we'll put all the questions. I'll start with some questions, and why I called Sanjiv today and not last week, and why not next week, वो मैं भी बोलूँगा, उनको ही मालूम नहीं, लेकिन I'll share with him.
शायद I can guess,
So,
but
yeah,
maybe I can guess. But thank you very much Manoj ji and Kapila ji. ये मेरा हिंदी में इंट्रोडक्शन मैं खुद पहली बार सुन रहा हूँ, पता नहीं किसने ट्रांसलेट किया, किसने बनाया, लेकिन बहुत ही अच्छा लगा। मैं सोच रहा था ये किसके बारे में है भैया, बहुत तो बहुत मजा आया सुनकर और बहुत ही अच्छा था। And of course as Manoj ji said, our connection goes many years and in many areas, all the way from cricket to music to meditation and to creating a wonderful world. तो पूरा हमारा full spectrum connection है। And speaking about जो first के बारे में बात कर रहे थे, speaking of first, one more first for us, I think it was love at first sight. तो मुझे याद है जिस जर्नी की बात कर रहे थे मनोज जी, देहरी जा रहे थे हम लोग, उससे पहले बस में चढ़ने से पहले ही हम लोग इंतजार कर रहे थे बस का। उन दिनों में थोड़ा सा लॉजिस्टिक्स का इश्यू रहता था, तो बस मोस्टली टाइम पर नहीं आती थी, निर्धारित समय से कुछ कुछ घंटों बाद आती थी। तो वहीं हम फुटपाथ पे खड़े हैं, इंतजार कर रहे हैं बस के लिए। और मैं तो मनोज जी से पहली बार ही मिल रहा था डायरेक्टली क्लास के बाद। ये एएमसी, ही वाज गोइंग टू कंडक्ट द एएमसी, एंड सो आई जस्ट वाज लुकिंग एट हिम एंड आई सेड, आप पारसी है क्या? उन दिनों ज्यादा वो तो ही, एंड of course knowing Manoj ji and how he is, do you remember what your response was, Manjo?
No, no, I don't.
Because his features and like that, he resembles he could easily be a Parsi. So I said that, and Manjo says yes. So I to concluded, of course, he's a Parsi. Of course, later on I found out he's not a Parsi. So us din aage jaake I found out कि he was born and brought up in Kunur or somewhere in the south in the initial years.
Coimbatore.
Coimbatore. So then I assumed he's South Indian. So I said, "Acha, he's South Indian and Parsi nahi hai, but a very different looking South Indian." And of course, later I found out he's neither Parsi nor South Indian, but he's from North India. And then, of course, later I found out after that he's neither Parsi nor South Indian nor North Indian. He's a nobody. So that was the progression. But anyway, जो कपिला जी ने बताया, I mean, right? Kapila was yeah. So that was, a nutshell about my journey. But it has been one heck of a ride this whole life. And continuously learning. It has just been an amazing trip. And you know Manoj ji has been a part of that journey, ever since 1992. Very much part of it, whether we were all the way from staying together in USA for many days, for many months, all the way to many years where I was in USA, he was here, and we hardly spoke for years and years. But still, that connection, that bonding is so strong, it's so powerful, that I feel we have been walking this path together every step of the way. And and always say, ki jo one of course, Guruji has given us this knowledge, and Guruji has given us many pointers and guidelines in our life and experiences. But मैं तो ये कहूँगा कि सबसे बड़ी जो भेंट है गुरुजी की, और शायद हम सब इस बात को से सहमत होंगे कि सबसे बड़ी जो गिफ्ट मिली है गुरुजी से, वो है कि वो है जो हमारे साथीदार है इस जर्नी के, particularly Manoj ji for me, and everyone that I've encountered in SSY. That connection, that relationship, कि उन्होंने एक एंटेना बनकर जो जिन ऊर्जाओं को, जिन व्यक्तियों को आकर्षित किया अपनी ओर, और वो ऊर्जाएं एक दूसरे से जब मिली है, then that is the magic that he has created, which is much more powerful than anything else, and the best gift that he has given to the world. So it is very poignant, and it is wonderful that this has happened, that we are meeting again on Gokulashtami, which is also Guruji's birthday. So as a tribute to him, I'll just spend a moment remembering Guruji, thanking Guruji for bringing Manoj ji and so many beautiful souls into my life, including each and every one of you as well. Gurur Brahma गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुर्साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः अखण्डमण्डलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरम् तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः Great. So, ever since childhood, I'd always wanted to. मुझे यही देखना था कि कैसे इस दुनिया को हम जो हमारी जो आदर्श दुनिया है उसके तरफ कैसे ले जाएं। ये मुझे मेरे ख्याल से बचपन यानी बिल्कुल मुझे लगता है 3-4 साल की उम्र से मुझे ये सोच किसी ना किसी रूप में मेरे मन में थी कि जब भी हम बच्चे देखते थे रास्ते पर भीख मांगते हुए या बहुत ही गरीब, तो ये कैसे हो सकता है? हाउ कैन वी बी सिटिंग इन अ कार एंड दीज किड्स आर आउटसाइड? तो यही यही प्रश्न को लेकर बहुत सारी प्रवृत्तियां मैंने आई वाज पार्ट ऑफ सोशल वर्क एंड वॉलंटियरिंग in I think 4th or 5th standard camps to the villages and things like that. लेकिन जैसे उम्र बढ़ती गई वैसे लगा कि यार ये वॉलंटियरिंग करके या ये जो हम कर रहे हैं कितनी छोटी सी एक्टिविटी है और कब जाके इस सारी दुनिया को कैसे हम कैसे हम बदल सकते हैं, कैसे जो हम चेंज चाहते हैं वो कैसे होगा। कितनी सारी समस्याएं, वेदर इट्स पोल्यूशन और क्राइम और वॉर्स एंड डोमेस्टिक वायलेंस, चाइल्ड अब्यूज, दिस दैट, आई मीन देयर आर millions of things. How will we ever reach that goal? और उसी को लेकर transcendental meditation or living life as a Jain monk or as a Buddhist monk for many for a long time I had experienced all of those things in search for that answer. लेकिन एसएसवाई और गुरुजी से जब मुलाकात हुई तब एक जैसे एक चाबी मिल गई कि ये सारी जो बातें हैं, सारी समस्याएं हैं, उसका मूल कारण एक ही है और वो मूल कारण यह है कि इंसान खुश नहीं है, आनंद में नहीं है। क्योंकि जब हम आनंद में है, खुश हैं, तो कोई कोई भी चैलेंज मुश्किल नहीं है, सब कुछ आसानी से हो सकता है। ये सारी दुनिया में इतना कुछ है कि सबके लिए बहुत कुछ है। सो the key was how to that rather than that the main thing is how to bring happiness to people, how to create, how to have people know and understand that they are the source of their own happiness so that they stop struggling to find happiness outside. And वो एसएसवाई से मिल गया, वो गुरुजी से मिल गया और मनोज जी के साथ रह के अनुभव हो गया कि दिस इज द वे, दिस इज हाउ वी वांट टू लिव. एंड सो उसी को लेकर whatever music I've created, whatever songs, whatever articles, poetry, poems, and all the classes and so on, whatever I have shared is just been an expression of that. And And I'm so excited, that this life keeps on bringing new and new challenges, new and new opportunities to serve, opportunities to love, opportunities to grow in lovingness. तो बस यही सफर है, यही चलता रहे. So of course there's a lot more to life. You cannot condense into a few minutes, but anyway, whatever little glimpses and through our talk and interaction and questions, whatever, बातें निकलती रहेंगी, हम बताते जाएंगे. Great. So, and I don't know, we'll have a lot of things to share and a lot of things to say, but so um,
You want me to tell you some cues that we can just flow
no,
with it?
you want me to continue? I can continue.
Yes, yes, yes. You continue a little story of pre-SSY, post-SSY.
Okay.
Share
Okay,
your
sure.
story and then we'll take it from there.
Okay, sure. So another few minutes. So yeah, so pre-SSY का तो मैंने बताया ही कि I was fortunately, you know, as far as reading and as far as understanding, I have been uh, given the gift of understanding and the intellect to know a lot of things. So I've been interested in so many things, and have had the opportunity to learn music. I am into sports. I'm into music. I'm into any form of art, any form of science, physics, mathematics, you name it, astronomy. Um, so ये प्री एसएसवाई, ड्यूरिंग एसएसवाई, पोस्ट एसएसवाई सब कुछ चलते ही रहा है. So once after so one more thing about me, I've spent half my life in the US, my all the way from going for my master's degree at Columbia University way back when I was in my early 20s. तो 10-15 साल यूएसए में था, फिर गुरुजी मिले यहाँ आकर इंडिया में, और मैंने आई मूव टू इंडिया फॉर 10 years, and that 10 years I was only doing SSY, only with Guruji, going wherever and conducting classes, conducting AMCs and DSTs and teachers training and whatever came along. So that was a very intense period of SSY activity. At one point in this process of conducting classes and being in SSY, with मुझे एक ऐसा अनुभव हुआ that yes, we are moving towards an ideal world and doing all that we can to move towards an ideal world, and then if that is true, then why SSY and why AMCs and why BSTs and why TTCs? Everyone is perfect the way they are, and um, whatever stage of life, whatever the journey is, सही है, और वही होना चाहिए. जो हो रहा है जिसकी जीवन में, वही सही है. तो क्यों जाके हम why do we need to interrupt that whatever that life journey is, and introduce anything? Let it just be. तो ये बात को लेकर I actually decided to withdraw from teaching SSY. Living SSY, of course, that can never stop, has never stopped, and will never stop. But teaching SSY, I kind of took a little bit of a backseat. So for about 10 years, I was still supporting Manoj Ji and RSVK in whatever way that I could financially, because I was leading a business in the US, which was doing very well. So whatever way I could support, I was supporting. But as far as teaching is concerned, I took a little bit of a back foot. In the midst of that, I decided कि अभी हम वापस घर वापसी का एक सपना था जो यूएसए से, तो हम वापस आ गए at some point in 2010, and almost a few months after arriving in India, I was very, I mean, thanks to SSY, thanks to pranayam, thanks to whatever lifestyle of vegetarian and whatever, even in the USA for 25, 30 years, I'm, always remained vegetarian, because that's just how I am. So in spite of all that, there was absolutely no risk factors or anything. I still got diagnosed with cancer. And that was ये 2012 में हो गया. और the it came as a surprise, and Guruji, of course, was still there, and one of the first people that I spoke to after finding out was Guruji. And and I still remember what he said to me. He said, nothing. Nothing it is. Just, you'll be fine. And that what he said, plus of course all these years and years of being in this okayness, being in knowing that no matter what the circumstances of life are, uh, no matter what the body is doing or saying, I am not that. And knowing that, ये जानते हुए बड़ी हंसी खुशी से ये जो बीमारी थी उसको एक चुनौती की तरह लेकर हंसते हंसते सब कुछ मतलब ऐसा नहीं है कि okay, because now, because you are you have this understanding and knowledge, you don't take care of your body. Yes, I am nobody, but yes, I do have a body, and which needs love, which needs care. तो जो भी सर्जरी, कीमोथेरेपी, जो भी करना था वो सब कुछ हो गया. But it happened with laughter, it happened with joy, it happened with so much lovingness.
Yeah, so
That
that's
it,
where I would like to intervene, because I was
yeah,
just going to share that only.
sure.
That I remember you sharing some photos of yours smiling and some messages of yours. Hey, Manjo, I'm doing it. I mean, going through this chemo and this one, this one, this one. But and means you were really laughing about it, and you told me about your daughters sharing about how you were I think the doctors were surprised, and that how is this guy, this अजीब सा पेशेंट आ गया कि जो हंस रहा है, तो हर चीज में हंस रहा है. आई मीन वो कीमो जा रहा है, हंस रहा है, ये क्या है, कौन से टाइप के अजीब हो गया. That was I remember those few interactions we had at that time.
Right, during those.
And after Guruji, I think you had told me, and I said, I don't know what I told, but I just said we can go through it easily, like that.
No
But
matter what.
your daughters, I think they are all doctors. So they said, no way,
Right.
Papa, you gotta come here. Come
Correct,
here right
correct,
now.
correct, correct. Yeah, Guruji said SSY pranayam से सब कुछ हो जाएगा, आ जाओ इधर मेरे साथ. But my daughters didn't want to hear any of that. They are both
All
doctors,
that
and
crap they didn't want to hear. They are doctors, they
ये
are scientists.
वो सब ठीक है, but you and in fact this is what I have concluded also in my life, कि there is nothing that is not spiritual, whether it's chemotherapy or surgery. That is also part of the spiritual knowledge which we have at our disposal, given by the divine. So why not use that as well? It is not that one is spiritual and other one is not. So इसी को लेकर, I mean, I remember when we were laughing like crazy during the chemo. You cannot imagine the nurses who were there. Uh, they were also उसमें एक funny thing that happened was that during the chemo they also give you a little cocktail of little painkiller and sedative and things like that. But the first time that I took the chemo, तो वो जो calculation उनका होता है is of an average American man, because this was all happening in the USA. So average American man is maybe 1.5 times my size and 1.5 times my weight. So the dosage they had prepared for the sedatives and the painkiller or whatever concoction they had was according to the American average weight. तो मेरे लिए तो वो overdose हो गया. तो overdose होने से वजह से मैं बिल्कुल एक मतलब I was actually, it was almost like an intoxication. So I was just in in high spirits, as if I had had too many drinks in a bar. वो ऐसी अवस्था थी मन की. तो वो नर्सेज मुझे बाद में बताया उन्होंने कि क्या जोक्स किए आपने और क्या क्या हंसाया हमको. It was unforgettable. And in fact, when the last chemo happened, they were all on one side, of course, they were sad to see me go, but they were happy it was over. But they were celebrating that this experience that we've had of all these chemos with has been really wonderful. So they lined up and threw whatever the confetti they call, वो छोटे छोटे कागज होते हैं, as I was leaving. But anyway, the point is that because of this knowledge, because of meditation, because of this understanding, because of all this, and this I will attribute to Manjo also in my life. That I was able to laugh through it. And it is possible, no matter what comes up, it is possible to see that it is not you, that you are free from anything that happens in your life. And that's the direct experience of that. तो कीमो के बाद कॉन्सर्ट्स, म्यूजिक, पोएम्स बहुत सारी लिखी हमने during that therapy and all that. So that was that phase. But and then after that, one thing I mute पे है मैंजो.
जैसा संजीव बताए थे कि हर चीज यू कैन मेक एनीथिंग स्पिरिचुअल. दैट्स व्हाट उनका खासियत है, संजीव, दैट anything you can make spiritual. So what one thing, I mean, I have learned also, and I keep learning many things from him, from you, Sanjiv. But one of the things I learned is very obvious कि मेरे दिमाग में पहले तो I am full MTV guy, and prior SSY सिर्फ बाहर का दुनिया, पार्टिंग. सडनली आफ्टर SSY अंदर का दुनिया में, देन आई गॉट फिक्स्ड इन आइडिया मेरे दिमाग में कि आई स्टार्टेड सिंगिंग भजन, म्यूजिक शुरू किया, भजन 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 भजन. लेकिन ये फिल्म सॉन्ग भी आध्यात्मिक हो सकते. अच्छा, ऐसा भी है क्या? तो ये मुझे द बेस्ट, वन ऑफ द वंडरफुल गिफ्ट्स आई गॉट फ्रॉम संजीव was the introduction of spirituality through Bollywood songs. And of course everyone knows him by that also. All of you all know him. One of the areas we know him is by that. So he started this called SSY Top 10. And I remember the first, we had one big program in Patkar Hall in Nariman Point. You remember that? That
Of
was the
course,
first.
unforgettable.
Yeah, and मैंने भी भाग लिया. मैंने भी 2 गाने गाए, वो भी अपने गजल rather, that way. But that was the introduction, and then I had one intermediate part. He said, नहीं तो तू ये बीच बीच में गाया कर. Okay, तो मेरे को स्टेज में बिठा दिया था first time. I mean, one of the first few times on big stage, 700-800 people are there. I mean, so I was singing the Hare Ram. वो भाग भी मुझे वही भाग दिया, Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare, that way. But this introduction of seeing everything as spiritual, and that is what I love about Sanjeev, that everything he'll take. And then, of course, now even I see, I mean, everything is spiritual. There's nothing like that. Like Mother says, we are spiritual beings, come here for a human experience. वही मैं बार बार दोहराता हूँ. तो हर चीज आप आध्यात्मिक के रूप से, even if you go to a bar and you're drinking, okay, that also can be spiritual. Okay, anything can be spiritual. आपका नजरिया change करना है. So that's what, Sanjeev, you're ready to sing something, looks like. Yes.
Hare Krishna, वही जो Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Rama Ram Hare Hare.
So one of the hilarious incidents we have had, I understand, you understand, na? ये हम शब्द बोलेंगे ना, you understand, तो हम दोनों में हंसी हंसी, मतलब ये चलते जाएगा, ये synergy सिर्फ ये होगा. You understand, Sanjiv? But
You understood know what I mean?
तो
Oh gosh.
हम लोग गोवा गए थे.
We have never laughed so much in our lives as much as this particular one.
मैंने बिजनेस छोड़ा और उसके बाद में बिजनेस छोड़ने के बाद मेरे पास कुछ इन्वेस्टमेंट के लिए कुछ पैसे थे. उसने भी कुछ उधर से अब्रॉड से यूएस से रिटर्न आया, उसके पास भी कुछ पैसे थे. तो वैसे चल गोवा चलते हैं, किसी ने हमको बोला, किसी ने हमको इनवाइट किया, गोवा चल उधर कुछ लैंड वैंड लेते हैं. आई आल्सो वेंट, वी टू वेंट, एंड बस में गए, वो स्लीपर बस, पोलो ट्रेवल्स. वी वेंट, एंड जिसने हमको इनवाइट किया, वो इनवाइट किया, फोन में बात किया, ये सब फिक्स हो गया था. एंड वी गो, एंड जो सुबह सुबह पहुंचे 5:30 बजे, ओके 6 बजे उधर गोवा पहुंचे, बस से निकले, एंड वी आर वेटिंग हियर, वो पिकअप करेगा. कोई आया नहीं, व्यक्ति आए जो लैंड के लिए बुलाया था, जो हमको बोला कि मैं दिखाऊंगा ये लैंड वगैरह वगैरह वगैरह. आया नहीं. हम बोले क्या करे. आधा घंटा उसको फोन किया, फोन नहीं उठाया. फिर उसने फोन किया, मतलब भी 1-1.5 घंटा रोड में बैठे थे कि तो आएगा. चलो छोड़ यार, नहीं आ रहा है, चलो अभी आए हैं 2-3 दिन की, बस एंजॉय. हमने कुछ मेडिटेटर्स को फोन किया, उनके घर चले गए. चलो आप है ना इधर, चल हम आते हैं. उनके घर गए, और देन वो 3 दिन में हम वो व्यक्ति को, ओके उसने फोन नहीं किया, हम उसको 3 दिन में 3 अलग अलग जगह मिले थे, गोवा के शहर में, उसके घर में, इधर. और वो, मतलब जब हम मिले थे, अरे आप आने वाले थे लेने को. मीन इट वाज हिलेरियस. एवरी टाइम ही विल से, उसके हर वाक्य में, यू अंडरस्टूड ना. मतलब वो बोलेंगे तो हमारे हंसी आई.
Anything मतलब ये मैं पानी पी रहा हूँ, ये ग्लास में पानी पी रहा हूँ, you understood know what I mean? इतना obvious. Anything yeah, anything. My name is Sanjiv, and then he'll say, "Acha, you're Sanjiv. You understood know what I mean?"
So it was hilarious. Means वो जो 3 दिन हम बिताए साथ में, और बस में बैठे वापस रिटर्न जर्नी. So whole bus was wondering, वो ये क्या दो पागल लोग आ गए, हंसते गए, और हंसते हंसते मतलब आंसू निकल गए. And I have never laughed entire life as much as.
neither I. Oh my God, I'm sure बस में सारे लोग ने सोच लिया कि ये लोग चरसी है, चरस बरस पी के बैठे हैं, क्योंकि इतना कोई ऐसे ही हंस नहीं सकता है. उतना मतलब उतना पागलपन से हंसे, खुल कर हंसे. मतलब it went on and on and on. Goa से probably 1/3 of the way we were laughing like mad.
बॉम्बे टू गोवा पिक्चर देखा ना, तो गोवा टू बॉम्बे,
Goa to Bombay was a full laughter session. Oh my goodness, unforgettable.
So we have shared, I mean, both of us have shared many of moments of this nobodiness, and we continue to do it. I remember once हम लोग when I was, we were there in US, हम लोग US में वो क्लास, अब मेरा क्लास खत्म हो गया, and then Sanjeev was going to take the class, next class. So he had come, we took one class together. तो हम लोग को ड्राइव के लिए गए, me, Sanjeev and Harsha. I think 3 of us only were there, or maybe one more person. We were going for a drive. And suddenly, it started to snowfall. snowfall hua, and I got too excited. I said, Sanjiv, first time I'm seeing snowfall. रुका गाड़ी, अरे बाबा ये यूएस है, यूएस है, ये रुक नहीं सकते हाईवे में, चल रुकना देखते हैं क्या होता है, तो रुको, मेरे को रोको, I want to dance and I want to play in the snow. I think, अरे this is US बाबा, this doesn't work like this. देखते, and we got up, we all ran highway में, we stopped the car, we went, and we started dancing, singing, just like that, enjoying that snowfall. So, 10 मिनट में आवाज आया, सब पुलिस आ गए.
Lights on.
What are you doing here? What are you doing here? What are you doing here?
Can I see your driver's license and registration, please?
I thought definitely I shat. Even he said, okay, sorry. He just come to enjoy. What? This is not a place for enjoyment, man. You go home and do whatever you want. So we've had shared very many memorable moments of nobodiness. जो SSY में कि बस खुल के गाओ, खुल के नाचो, खुल के हर चीज जो खुल के करना है. Whenever we meet, we get into that, this thing. जैसा उन्होंने बताया कि हाँ, काफी टाइम से कभी नहीं मिलते, 6 महीने नहीं बात करते, साल भर नहीं बात करते, लेकिन जब बात करते, like I'm speaking to you after a long time now also, and it's like no, कल ही तो मिले थे,
कल ही तो मिले. It doesn't feel time has passed.
This is the beauty of SSY, सिद्ध समाधि की जो गुरु जी ने गिफ्ट दिया, उन्होंने बताया था कि relationships. So I think many of us must be experiencing this. हमने Zoom में बात की है, लेकिन we feel we are meeting. When we meet in real this thing, we really feel we are meeting. Yes, Chandan is there. Chandan bhai. Yes, Chandan. We are all in that same boat. मुझे याद है, ये तो कुछ 6-8 पागल लोग गए थे. ओके, तो हम लोग दादर में सत्संग होता था. ओके, दादर में तो मैंने ये कुछ I was active, super active in getting training teachers and whatever. तो 10-12 लोग को तैयार किया कि टीचर्स ट्रेनिंग. तो ये जो 10-12 में से, I think how many of you went? Sutur gang, 8?
Yeah, six of us.
6, 7, 8 तो
from the Mumbai.
12-15 में से 6-7 लोग ये इकट्ठा करके गए. एंड मैंने तो भेजा, मैं क्या होगा, ये लोग जा रहे हैं टीचर्स ट्रेनिंग, और मैंने उनको तैयार तो किया था, लेकिन एज पर SSY नॉर्म्स जो गुरुजी ने तय किया था कि ये 4-6 चीज होना चाहिए, और वो 6 में समझो 6 देयर वर 6 एलिजिबिलिटीज. तो ये जो 6-8 व्यक्ति थे, उनका एलिजिबिलिटी सिर्फ 3-4 हुआ था. मैंने पेपर साइन कर दिया कि एलिजिबल कर दिया, उनको भेज दिया. एंड अंदर से मुझे घबराहट होती थी कि यार, आउट ऑफ 6 एलिजिबिलिटीज सिर्फ 3-4 थे, और मैंने उसको साइन कर दिया पेपर और भेज दिया. व्हाट विल गुरुजी टेल अबाउट दीस 6 नमूने जो भेजा था. नाम क्या है? संजीव, कुलिन, फिर चारुल, वैभव, नीरव, चंदन, and 1 or 2 more like this Sutur gang. Chandan can
Sutur gang
at some point. So ये भेज तो दिया. I was wondering what will he share, but when they came back, I said, wow, this is the best thing I have ever been part of in my life. One of the best things कि इनको भेजा, because the way they came, and I think you can share that experience when you came and Chandan can add on. I was more than me being happy. I heard how Guruji was praising these Bombay namunas. You can share.
Yeah, क्योंकि हम जो already जो एक establish हो गया था, एक AMC के वजह छोड़ो, जो भी एक ग्रेस जो हमें मिल गया था. So we were, वहां पे there was a shortage of water, there was a shortage of little bit sanitation, there was a shortage of good food, and so many things were not as per what we might have expected or thought ki hona chahiye. And we were 600 teachers in training, okay, 600 at one place. So तो बहुत सारे कंप्लेन कर रहे थे कि ये क्या हो रहा है, ये ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए, ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए. लेकिन हम जो थे बंबई से, जिनका गुरुजी को शायद सबसे ज्यादा फिक्र थी कि ये बंबई वाले तो इसको भाग जाएंगे यहाँ से, उसकी जगह में what we had, we were so much simply flowing in love and in joy. हम गाने गा रहे, खाना नहीं है तो क्या हुआ, अरे ये बर्तन करने हैं तो हम, कोई बर्तन नहीं करने जा रहा है क्योंकि उतने मतलब दे आर नॉट सो हैप्पी विद द फूड. नोबडी वाज आफ्टर द फूड, दे ऑल लेफ्ट. But we six, we were there washing the big vessels and singing and bhajans at the same time, and just in such a high energy and such high spirits. It was, living life to the fullest, and really we experienced that it is not your circumstances, Baba. It is nothing to do with the circumstances. It has to do with you, not with the circumstances. And that became so clear to us, and we became so close. And Guruji put us up as examples. Ki dekho how these people are, we were feeding each other rather than worrying ki mujhe mila ki nahi. We were feeding each other all the time. Chandan, you remember? We were just feeding each other, making sure the other people are getting the food and all that. And the interesting thing is, I mean, the TTC was 21 days, but this all happened in the first few days itself. And then when Guruji at one of the gatherings said, okay, listen, look at this group, how they're enjoying this place. Just look and see how you can also get into this flow. And people started getting that. It got transmitted. And the funny thing is, within a matter of 2 or 3 days, wo initial thoda sa teething problems tha, logistics, but after the third or fourth day, the food was fantastic, the place was comfortable, the sanitation started working beautifully. Everything was just, so the physical, the inner and outer just kind of came together, and everything just started flowing anyway.
In fact, out of all the teachers trainings जो गुरुजी ने करवाया किया उनके द्वारा, तो this was every time वो उसका जिक्र करते, सुतुर तीसरी, सुतुर. मैं तो नहीं था, लेकिन ये लोग तो थे हमारे representative
I
मुंबई.
know.
So Chandan, you can share a few words on that. Sutur, and if Kulin is there, then Kulin also Sutur. कभी भी देखो वही बात करते हैं, सुतुर. ये
Well,
ज्यादा अटैचमेंट भी हो गया, ज्यादा उनका वो भी है. चलो बोलो.
yeah. So it was a marriage of minds, We all just merged into each other. I mean, what we talk about being in energy, we experienced it for those 25 days, and it was pure magic. The electricity, the spark which flew amongst us, that was crazy. We would get
Crazy
high.
is the right word. Crazy is the right word.
Yeah, we were
Crazy. You
getting
cannot
high.
call it anything else.
We were
Yeah.
getting high on eating a packet of crackjack biscuit. We would get it like, you have to walk 1 kilometer away from the location, which was that temple area, which was out of the Sutur village actually. And we had to walk and buy that. We were not allowed to leave the temple. And in the evening walks, we would go and we would steal and buy that one packet of crackjack between us. And then we would all share, and like Sanjiv said, feeding each other on that. Oh my God, those sleeping on the river banks in the moonlight,
Yeah.
singing
Oh
songs till late in the night, or rather early in the morning. Amazing. It
Amazing.
was magic. Some magic happened. Yeah.
Normally I was the teacher. Okay, मैं teacher हूँ, मैं teacher, and I am training volunteers to go for teachers training. So I am supposed to be higher than them, like मैं उनको ट्रेन कर रहा हूँ, उनको भेज रहा हूँ, उनको ट्रेनिंग कर रहा हूँ. तो ये लोग आते हैं वापस 1 महीने के बाद वापस, और फिर they are sharing their experience. In the stage Dadar hall, and then I started wondering, मैंने भेजा है या ये लोग मुझे, मेरे टीचर ये है, मैं टीचर हूँ या ये मेरे टीचर है. Really, because their energy was so high, and that's the beauty. मैं कहना चाहता हूँ is just because मैं आपके साथ, मैं आपसे शेयर कर रहा हूँ, तो आई एम हायर देन यू, ये सब बेकार बात है. यू कैन बी द फर्स्ट टाइम कमिंग एंड योर एनर्जी कैन बी हायर देन मी, नो प्रॉब्लम. वी आर हियर टू शेयर आवर एनर्जीज. तो जिसका ये एनर्जी ऊपर नीचे होते रहता है, अगर आप ये सुन रहे हैं साथ में, ओके, तो ये सुन रहे हैं तो आपका एनर्जी इससे हाई भी हो सकता है. सो वी आर ओनली शेयरिंग आवर एनर्जीज. तो मैंने तो हालांकि उनको भेजा था, लेकिन when they came back, they gave me what energy means. मेरा अगर it was like this, it was here and then they were here, then I sent them, they went here and then they pulled me here. So it is not about who is teaching who or coaching. तो जब आप गाइड करते हैं लोगों को, जब आप कोच करते हैं लोगों को, जब आप शेयर करते हैं लोगों को, वो शेयरिंग, कोचिंग, गाइडिंग, टीचिंग, ये सब जो एक बहाना है. We are doing it for our own selves. So we are just holding each other's hand. ज्योत से ज्योत जगाते चलो, प्रेम की गंगा बहाते चलो. It's all about, lighting each other's lamp. So Sanjiv wants to say something through music. Let him share whatever he wants to say. Yeah.
So Manoj mentioned the spiritual top 10, the SSY top 10. So एक गाना ही हो जाए उस नाम पे.
Yes.
So of course, like, most of you know, and if you don't know, it is even in Bollywood songs, if you really look, if you have the eye, एक नजरिया आपका है, तो उसी में भी आपको divinity, godliness, wonder नजर आएगी किसी भी song में. Any song, there is no song which does not remind me of divine. No song. But some have a just a slight shift in your point of view, and it happens. So like, this is one of my favorite songs these days. तू सफर मेरा है, तू ही मेरी मंजिल, तेरे बिना गुजारा ऐ दिल है मुश्किल. तू मेरा खुदा, तू ही दुआ में शामिल, तेरे बिना गुजारा ऐ दिल है मुश्किल. ये रूह भी मेरी, ये जिस्म भी मेरा, उतना मेरा नहीं जितना हुआ तेरा. तूने दिया है जो वो दर्द ही सही, तुझसे मिला है तो इनाम है मेरा. मेरा आसमां ढूंढे तेरी जमीन, मेरी हर कमी को है तू लाजमी. जमीन पे ना सही तो आसमां में आमिल, तेरे बिना गुजारा ऐ दिल है मुश्किल.
Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah. That is Sanjiv. He just is more a spontaneous person, and he will, and in fact, he is guiding Nina's baguette factory very beautifully.
So, as I was sharing earlier, कि एक तरफ से मुझे जो एक realization हुआ that everything is divine. Not only everything, everyone is divine. Then why SSY, and why we, in SSY, of course, we start with the SSY class and end up in, let's say, the retreat जो होता है, जहां हम नारायण प्रोसेस या किसी भी जरिए से हम एक अनुभव की एस्टैब्लिश हो जाता है कि ना ही हम एक उसी ऊर्जा, उसी देवत्व का तत्व है, लेकिन हर कोई वही है, हर कोई वही है, हर चीज वही है, then why SSY? That was what kind of got me to take a little bit of a backseat from teaching SSY or spreading SSY. So, and then so there were a few years where Manjo and I were interacting on this particular, uh, conversation ki yaar tu ye all these things that you are creating, wonderful, but aren't we forgetting something, that we are divine? तो ये थोड़ा 2-3 साल चला, but
That's
now
what I wanted to. That's my question to you. Okay, so I exactly.
okay.
To that. So it'll flow more. Ki, this. Why do you think I called you today? Why not last? Why not? I could have called Synergy next week करते थे या इससे पहले करते थे ना मेरे मन नहीं आज का ही दिन करना है आज का ही दिन. Any guess, Sanjiv?
Yeah, of course, it is the debate between doing and non-doing, right?
Right.
And you are in the non-doing scope camp,
Right.
so it is a
I
perfect.
wanted, yeah, I want ये जो टॉपिक अभी स्कोप कैम्प चल रहा है अभी आप देख रहेंगे तो बहुत लोग उधर है 50-60 लोग है 60
हाँ,
people.
correct.
They are already watching. So this topic is non-doing, the science of non-doing, which is
Correct.
कर्म उपनिषद. In fact, SSY का मतलब है the सिद्ध समाधि योग, the science of non-doing. उसका टैगलाइन है. And Guruji is there. तो ये हमारा जो ये संजीव जी अभी बता रहे थे आपको, तो ये हमारा डिबेट काफी सालों
से चल रहा है. चला.
It is like it's like the story of Mandana Mishra and Shankaracharya.
Absolutely.
In this
Yes.
case, संजीव बोलता तू क्या कर रहा है segmenting PRS ये लिया SMS awareness and catharsis and ये करो वो करो सुबह करो रात को creativity 10-1.5 घंटे में पहुंच गए तू क्या कर रहा है भैया आपने and मैं बोला मैं तो यही करूंगा. Much way, if you ask me, I used to get bugged. But and I'm sure that he also probably he can share for himself, but he would also get irritated to doing, and I say, why don't you understand doing? I'm not teaching doing, I'm teaching non-doing. Doing, I'm teaching non-doing. So yeah, I think, but since 1 year or something, we have not spoken a single word. I have understood what he is doing, Sanjeev. I think he has understood what I am doing. एक साल से ना तो मैं उससे कुछ इसके बारे में बात किया ना तो उसने मुझे जिक्र किया. We just understood we both are teaching non-doing. I am going this way, he is going this way. उनका जो कहना है मैं डायरेक्टली जाता हूँ, मैं बोलता हूँ I am going step by step. बात एक ही है. ये दो फिलॉसफी है. नेति. That means not this. And there's another philosophy which not this. ये Chidanand Rupa. So, I'm not the body, I'm not the mind, I'm not the intellect, I'm not this. This is one philosophy. The other philosophy is everything is yes. Even the prostitute is a god in prostitute. Even the murderer, prostitute, there's God in. So both these philosophies go together. It ends with one thing only. Everything is from the source. We are zero, nothing. Same way, doing and non-doing. डूइंग का मतलब है सुबह 4 बजे लाइक मंडन मिश्रा 4 बजे उठो फिर ये प्राणायाम करो फिर ये करो फिर मेडिटेशन करो फिर ही मोक्ष होगा. ये सब बेवकूफी है. दैट इज क्लियर इन द एनलाइटनमेंट क्वेश्चनर इन SSY. सो बिकॉज मेरा प्रेम है SSY से तो मुझे इस तरह से कि आई स्टार्टेड टू कि मुझे सबको भर्ती करना है SSY में. क्या करे नहीं आ रहे. अच्छा चलो प्रेग्नेंट लोग तो आएंगे. क्यों? मैं प्रेगनेंसी के बाद में बात करूंगा तो प्रेग्नेंट लोग भी करेंगे. फिर बिजनेस लोग भी आएंगे. क्यों? मैं बिजनेस की बात करूंगा फिर वो आएंगे. तो इस तरह से हर माध्यम से मैंने ये किया एंड इन द प्रोसेस ये बहुत से डूइंग इट अपीयर्स डूइंग but I was sharing with them. So now you can share your concept of non-doing. That's the topic of this.
Correct. Finally, we have arrived at the topic. Half an hour away from closing, anyway, or less. But बिल्कुल ये जो एक sort of spiritual dance that Manjo and I were engaged in for a couple of years. कि जैसे उन्होंने बताया कि यार हम नॉन डूइंग कुछ भी नहीं करने की बात कर रहे हैं और तू सिर्फ करने के सिवाय कुछ बात ही नहीं करता, ये कर वो कर वो कर, फिर ये नहीं हुआ तो वो कर, और भी कर और भी कर, दिन भर कर, रात भर कर, सुबह उठ के कर, शाम को सोते वक्त कर, अरे सोते सोते भी कर और सपने में भी कर। तो करते ही जा करते ही जा करते ही जा। और हम निष्कर्म की बात कर रहे हैं। तो एक at one point, I don't know when or how or whatever, through the reading, through meditation, or through grace, actually, finally, this understanding has dawned on both of us in our own ways. कि ये where does this, ये दो जो ईस्ट और वेस्ट लग रहे थे वो कहाँ मिल रहे हैं, इक्वेटर पे या कहाँ जीरो पे, कहाँ where does this meet? And that's what the realization was. And now we don't have that sangarsh. But what is that? What is that understanding? तो जैसे मैं बता रहा था कि जो मैं टीचिंग से थोड़ा सा मैंने बैकफुट पे ले लिया था, क्योंकि एवरीवन इज डिवाइन, एवरीवन इज गॉड, देयर इज नथिंग दैट नीड्स टू चेंज, एवरीथिंग इज परफेक्ट, एवरीथिंग इज ब्यूटीफुल. सो व्हाट इज लेफ्ट देन? Okay, if everything is beautiful, everything is divine. So, and it's not that आप ये सेगमेंट इंटेंडिंग करोगे, पैटर्न्स चेंज करोगे, या मनी वेल्थ अबंडेंस, आप ये सब कुछ करने के बाद आप वहां तक पहुंचोगे जहां आपको पहुंचना है. दिस इज द थॉट प्रोसेस इन मोस्ट पीपल, कि वहां पहुंचने के लिए ये सब करना जरूरी है. 20 साल मेडिटेशन करो, केव में गुफा में जाके बैठो, या फिर ये सारी जो टेक्निक्स जो मनोज जी बताते हैं वो कुछ ना कुछ करते जाओ, एक दिन आप जरूर पहुंचोगे. दिस इज द thought process. And the realization was that there are two ways to do all this. Let's take meditation. अगर मैं दिव्य हूं, मैं दिव्य शक्ति हूं, और ये सत्य है, नहीं अगर नहीं, मैं हूं ही वही. ये शरीर तो सिर्फ मेरा एक रूप है जिसको मैंने धारण करके मैंने अपने आप पे ये मुखौटा जैसे मास्क जो लगाया है शरीर का, ये चेहरे का, वो तो एक मुखौटा है. वो मैं नहीं हूं. तो इस शरीर को या मन को शांत करके या अशांत करके या मेडिटेशन से शांत करके क्या कर लोगे? क्योंकि तुम तो वही हो. अगर शांत हो तब भी वही हो, अगर व्याकुल हो तब भी वही हो, अगर आप मर्डरर है तब भी वही हो, अगर आप बहुत ही महान संत हो तब भी वही हो. तो जब हम वही है तो ये सब क्यों फिर? तो ये सो द स्टेप इज, कहां से आप आ रहे हैं? मतलब आप अगर सोचते हैं कि मैं ये सब करने के बाद उस अवस्था तक पहुंचूंगा या पहुंचूंगी जो बहुत दूर लग रहा है मुझे, तो आप करते जाएंगे. और ये एक स्ट्रगल है, क्योंकि यार उठना, ये हर 1.5 घंटे ये सेगमेंट इंटेंडिंग करो, ये नोट्स लिखो, इट्स अ स्ट्रगल. देयर इज नो वे दैट दिस हैपेंस easily. You have to remind yourself, you have to bring yourself to these classes, you have to go to the scope camp, go to Kathak Khadak, be with Manoj ji. All this is all part of the journey and the struggle to become something more, to get something more, to be more, whatever it is, whether it's wealth, health, happiness, जो भी आप सोच रहे हैं, उसकी तरफ जाने के लिए it's a struggle. Um, the other way, which is what I bring, and so is what Manjo calls, and I also call it the direct path. कि तुम्हें वहां कुछ वो सब करने की, it's a step by step journey, but just take a look. This whole thing is just an imagination. Whether you are a saint, a millionaire, or a pauper, it is still only you. There is nothing else. All this is simply a play. And when you look at that, what is left then? You don't need meditation की हम बात कर रहे थे. You don't need to meditate. It is not necessary to meditate. You are already divine. However, or let's take, so you are already divine. Now, take anything, whether it's meditation or pranayam or yoga asana or any of those things. You don't need to do that. You are divine itself. In fact, there is no you, there is no separate you. This body itself is a creation, is a figment of the imagination. ये एक सपना जो है वो चल रहा है. ये सपने के अंदर आप जो भी करो, जो सपना देख रहा है उसको तो वो तो जैसा है वही है, divine, right? So in a dream, whether you meditate or you do yoga or you travel or you do exercise, the dreamer does not change. The dreamer is still in the dream, dreaming this dream called life. So just like that, we as the dreamt characters in the dream of divine, हम उस सपने के अंदर चाहे ये करे वो करे, सेगमेंट इंटेंड करे ना करे, हम तो वही है जो सो रहा है यानी जो सपने का सर्जन कर रहा है. It is the dreamer which is dreaming this dream. Now the dreamt character can do whatever, it makes no difference. In fact, it is all just happening in the dream. It is just happening. There is nothing like doing. Even if you say, I am going to do segment intending, that thought, I am going to do segment intending, just happens. It comes to you and you do segment intending. It is not something you do, it just happens. So now going back to this understanding कि आप meditation करो या ना करो, आप वही हो. तो once that understanding becomes you, becomes your life, कि मैं, that I can drop all of these concerns about wealth, about health, about my body, about relationship. It doesn't matter. It's okay. I am this divine soul on this divine journey called life. And whether in this divine journey I sit on the merry-go-round or I sit on the Ferris wheel makes no difference. It is still all part of that. So once you realize that, then what? Then, now you have a choice. Up till then, you don't have a choice. If you don't have the realization that I am this divine soul on a divine journey, living dream of God or divine or consciousness or whatever name you want to give it, मैं वही हूं, तो मैं ये करूं या वो करूं उससे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता है. लेकिन ये जब समझ आ जाती है, और यही समझ कैसे आएगी, वही मैं जो रिट्रीट कंडक्ट करता हूँ या हम जो वननेस ओपन डोर में जो हम मिलते हैं हर हफ्ते 2-3 बार, एंड आई विल पोस्ट डिटेल्स अबाउट दैट, और एनीवन हु इज पार्ट ऑफ दैट, इफ यू कैन पोस्ट द टाइमिंग एंड ऑल दैट, दैट विल बी गुड. बट वो जाने के बाद then it becomes a choice that I am this divine soul living this divine journey, and no matter what I do, it doesn't really matter. Now, if I choose to meditate, if I choose to do yoga, actually even before that, so when I realize that I am only that, what remains to be done? What needs to be done? अगर मुझे पता चल गया कि मैं वही हूं, मैं ही नारायण, मैं ही सरस्वती, मैं ही लक्ष्मी का एक स्वरूप हूं, तो क्या बचता क्या है फिर करने को? क्या सेगमेंट इंटेंडिंग करेंगे? जरूरत ही नहीं है, क्योंकि क्या, फॉर व्हाट? सो what really remains to be done is only one thing. Anyone can guess what is that one thing? What remains to be done? Once you know and realize that this is all just a game, what remains to be done? Can you put in the chat window? Yeah, nothing. Okay, nothing is one thing. This is the vairagya mode. कि मैं कुछ नहीं करूंगा, बस एक गुफा में जाके बस समाधि ले लेता हूं. ये एक ऑप्शन है. Enjoy each and every moment, playing, staying in oneness, playing the game. In one word, the only thing that remains is to
Celebrate.
Nobodyness is an understanding. Observe, enjoy silence. Silence से भी आगे. Okay, silence is very good. This is where you reach. जब ये realization आता है, आप silence में पहुंच जाते हैं, nobodyness में भी पहुंच जाते हैं. लेकिन वहां पहुंचने के बाद क्या? What after that? Joy. You're very close. Very close. Blissful. Create. One word I'm looking for.
Celebrate.
Celebrate. Celebrate. Exactly, Manjo. We are on the exact same page, and I know it. Celebration is the only thing remaining. Now, celebrate जो शब्द है, उसको लेकर एक नैरो डेफिनेशन हो सकता है सेलिब्रेशन का. सेलिब्रेट का मतलब क्या है? Celebrate means what? Party. पार्टी बनाएंगे, जश्न मनाएंगे, कितनी टाइम तक? मान लो हमने, चलो ओके, नाउ आई हैव अटेन्ड दिस नोबडीनेस, दिस एंड this understanding and this experience that I really, this body is nothing, I am that, I am this universal consciousness. समझ में आ गया, अनुभव भी हो गया। और वो कैसे होता है वो हम वर्कशॉप्स में, रिट्रीट में समझाते हैं, लेकिन हर एक को ये समझ बहुत ही आसानी से 1 2 3 in 5 minutes we can get it. उसके बाद क्या? उसके बाद when there's nothing to do, there's only celebration. So, and then now how to celebrate? You cannot have a party. पार्टी करोगे तो क्या 1 घंटा डांस करोगे, म्यूजिक करोगे, नाचोगे, गाओगे, 1 घंटा, 1.5 घंटा, 2 घंटा, फिर क्या? उसके बाद हर एक कोई पार्टी में भी कोई 10 घंटे या 24 घंटे तो पार्टी या जश्न नहीं मना सकता है। Then how to celebrate? How to celebrate? How to celebrate is everything that you can express celebration: meditation, segment intending, changing your pattern, overcoming anger, creating wealth and abundance as a celebration, not as a goal, but as a starting point. With a goal, I will become enlightened or I will become wealthy. Nahi, I am everything. I am beyond wealth. I am more than wealth. I own the entire universe. What is there to earn and what is there to accumulate? I own everything. From that, the first question was, why meditate? Because you want to be enlightened, because you want to be calmer, because you want to overcome anger, and all that drops away. I meditate because that is one way for me to celebrate my silence. I do yoga because it is one way to celebrate this body. Pranayam is a way to celebrate energy of life, prana. Segment intending is a way to celebrate gratitude, to celebrate all the gifts that I'm receiving each and every moment in each and every item. So the whole, it's a matter of turning this whole process 180 degrees. So what, and Manjo and I talked about this also, ki jo is journey pe hai, all of you who are in DYL and so on, you can also come to this oneness understanding, which is in a way, but in which there is nothing to do. Okay. You come to this understanding, and with this understanding, when you return to this same thing you may be doing, you may have heard the story: before enlightenment, chopping wood, fetching water; after enlightenment, chopping food, fetching water. तो ये enlightenment का जो journey है, उसी के, that is what I love to share and love to bring to, to the open door and whatever platforms that I'm speaking and teaching on. But with that knowledge, then this whole changing patterns become just एक बहाना है celebrate करने का, of our playing with our mind, playing with, okay, I have these qualities, breaking habits because, oh, I have this, playing with habits, playing with, okay, giving up smoking or taking on some habit of getting up early in the, whatever it is, the whole thing can be a game. And that is when it is simply a celebration. That is what non-doing means. Non-doing doesn't mean don't do anything. Non-doing means do everything you're doing, but from celebration and not from burden, not from I have to, I should, I must. Yeah.
Beautiful.